Welcome. Today I'll be going through outdated deck profiles and just ideas on Bastion. Okay, this is budget Bastion, doesn't really count. Then and two Hexaorb deck profiles, the combo one and the aggro one, and we'll see how it develops in 1 month to the game already, and the special set just released. So let's get into it. I've generally covered most things in the deck guide if you're talking about the cards. So I'll just be going through my deck profile for what day is it today? So this will be for 18 May for Japanese format. So the festival collection just arrived recently, and the meta game has not really changed too drastically, honestly. It's just those certain cards weren't too impactful. So now that I got my SPs, let's just go through what my personal deck list is. Bastion still remains a rather powerful deck, but of course, people have been taking advantage of its weaknesses of it being kind of slow and also its lower shield value. So for that reason is why I decided to run 5 non-grade 3s actually, which is higher than most actually. I decided to go for a 3-2 split because I feel painkiller is important, but too many of it you can't really do much once you play the game when you're playing with all these cards like Elden and Darkstring Dragon. Then one thing that I considered was drop Force Heart to 3. Okay, so this is what you're wondering, why would you even drop Force Heart to 3? Like, this is a combo 4, right? Well, yes, you can definitely play 4. Yeah, like you can just play 4 and just cut, I don't know, Rough Look over here. But personally, I feel Rough Look's importance has raised up in the recent things, because with people figure out exactly this, you won't have the freedom to pressure overturns as much anymore. So you really want to get in, but having this for control and for a turn 3 play with Elden is still really strong, and so why I still play both of them. What Painkiller brings to the table is that it gives you additional grade 1, so if you mulligan in seed, keep your hand. So this gives you additional 5k shield to lock like any non-grade 3. But also, if you're going second, you can even call it out to aggro on the game. 8, like you ride the Vanguard, you can just aggro like 8-8. It's rather risky, but if your opponent hits this, just saves you 1 card in hand too. Otherwise, you can just refund it for 1 soul blast. So this actually helps you draw into your Eldens more constantly, or even in Commerce to some degree, without lowering your overall shield value, which is I think the main point of this card. So I'll say this card is definitely raising out its table. Even if you don't run more grade 3s, if you do plan to run more than 4 perfect guards, this is the first card I'll recommend for sure. Then I played the 2 Rooks. You can play one more Painkiller, but I played 2 Rooks because I like the stinky booster. So this is the reason why I play only 3 Darkstring Dragons. Some lists play 4 is like a guaranteed measure thing, but I feel because the deck has some non-grade 3 boosters, you don't need to rely on drawing it. You need to see 1 per game usually. Also, Rough Look can power in the event. Then you have the staple cards like Persona, right? Yeah, self-explanatory. Elden, of course, the 4th, and the backup to Elden, Commerce. So I don't run Floria, I've just tried it out again, but I think Commerce is more powerful. The 2 draw on demand really saves you games, and now the new foiling from the festival collection really nice. And then for the grade 3s now, so I've gone for a 3 Cocobill, 3 Darkstring, and 3 Ruffle lineup. We might like say like you might be thinking like, why don't you just max it out? But a lot of the time, apart from maybe I think Rough Look and this thing, you don't really want to see them too often. So I think Rough Look you don't see very often, so you can run 4. So if you do want to cut the 2 Rooks over here, I would recommend literally inserting either Commerce, the 3rd Commerce, a 4th Thought, or Cocobill. Because really these slots can really be anything. But I would say personally, I think these 2 are the most important. So if you were to cut some grade 3, grade 1s, you can just play these 3. Then if you really feel like playing 4 Heart, if your meta game is very resist based, control based like Prisons, then yeah, you can play the 4th one. Okay, so the reason why we don't play 4 Heart at 4 anymore, in my opinion, is that while it's a very powerful card, it does not actually push for game. Look, it has no shield value of its own, of course, like any grade 3 besides Cocobill over here. and its only abilities resist and the on-hit pressure. So while it's very good early game, later in the game it skills out very badly, and it might lose you the game as it does not hit over damage triggers. So like here you have Rough Look and Dark Strain, which helps you to overcome that the amount of the damage trigger with a column. So this will be from 30 columns. Here's a boost up rate up by 10k. And Coca Bale's at 3 again for similar reasons. You do want to see it, but it's not a card you want to see all the time. So I've really come down to this lineup. I could cut one of these for more Rough Look maybe. That's what I'm testing personally. But yeah, that's generally how Bastion is shaping up. And so our trigger lineups, generally 8 crit, 3 draw, 1 over is still the way to go, and 4 heals of course. Over still being Amatinoa. Now for the other deck build options will appear during week 4 coming in, yeah. So we have seen some cards like Night of Heavenly Music, I think, Alpheon. So Alpheon is a new card from Festival Collection, the one that's more relevant in the grade 2. So this skills rather okay with you got 3 or more grade 3 units, including the Vanguard. Combo plus 1 to give it 5k power. Then, if you person on right distance, you can draw a card. It's alright, but technically combo plus is really tight, as Foresight might not hit all the time. And yeah, you usually prefer to have things life 1 turn 3 to recover from rush. Still, it's simply all more grade 3s, I guess. Put it in, but I suggest prioritize the ones I showed above. Then Hopeful Tuxedo is generally a weaker version of Pokeball in most cases, or at least on par, so I'll play this instead. But you could play 1 or 2 if you cut all your grade 3s, all your grade 1s, yeah. Then the last card which really has seen a rise in play in Japan, which is this card, Swinging Sword or Justice or Judgment, yeah. So this is a card that was like sends a column back to the opponent. So this is initially it was seen as a win more card, doesn't help your game plan as much. Personally, I've not tested it out too much, but I must say the matchups which give the deck a lot of trouble are like Varina and Magnolia, which do tend to rush you really hard on turn 2 and turn 3. So maybe you should play 4 Rough Look and 4 of this. You can actually just draw 2 into something like this and put in Soul, and you send a column back, which might save you for 1 more turn guaranteed. So a lot of these, if you bring 4 copies of this, I assume to hit on Valiant and all that, as Overdress units will go to the bottom of the deck, the entire stack of them. So generally that's my Bastion update. No much has changed. The best cards are still the best cards, maybe 4 slots, so minimum at 4. And that's about it, yeah, Rooks. With that, I hope you all enjoyed. Now, see you next for Hexaorb. It's a new update. So now we've covered the Bastion, let's cover Hexaorb Sorcerer. So in week 4 onwards, the deck has gone through some meta game changes. So the most significant card is being, of course, Painkiller Angel over here, which I previously mentioned that it wasn't really advisable because of the surplus cost, but I found out otherwise, yeah. So I was wrong, yeah. With that, this is the update mostly to the combo version. So the aggro version personally does not need much changes as it's pretty solid already. But for this version, let's just try to see what we've done. So the 2 additions I feel the deck needs were Painkiller Angel and Karmoth. So these are essentially the draw engines which you use to draw into your combo pieces like your personal right turn and of course your Rough Look and all that. So without these 2 cards previously, Hexaorb also kind of weak turn 3. So having these cards really help you set up stronger plays. So Lepisto also, to compensate for the more common loss we have here, I did drop some Lepistos as it becomes more of a tech finisher now. And with all these great ones now, we can consider pushing. Fakiata is still at 3 to 4 copies as his ability to counter charge is still very invaluable in the deck. And that's why Rough Looks kind of staying and Posat's still here. So ideally you have these cards to maintain resources, which sometimes, because they can't guard these numbers early game, this will generally activate once or twice a game. So what Painkiller brings to the table now is that Painkiller allows you to play a bit more aggro really, like I mentioned before Bastion, or you can just play early game to see on cycling places. So another thing you can do is on the turn 3 that you activate Pentaglim's right index queue, if you see like 3 non-triggers, let's say like you see like 1, 2, 3, something like this, right? You rearrange them. You can play Commerce into the 2 draw to draw the 2 non-triggers, and then check to the trigger. Which is another problem I actually found before, because previously the only way I could actually scry was through Pentaglim and Target, which was not very consistent, as you really want to save it for next turns in case you don't get the person right to help push games. So with that, Hexaorb's not really changed too much actually. The numbers are still really good. Another small thing to handle is maybe this column is really good anyway, Painkiller and Rough Look, because when you hit, this card will fund the Soul Blast for Painkiller, making it like a free filter. I will upload some gameplays, or maybe you see it on because I uploaded with this version of the deck. It's really strong. As to why still no Elden, well, Soul Blast. Yeah, I tried it out, but I think Commerce is the way to go, particularly for this deck. As this deck can break still, despite what I've done for it. Now I'll move on to the more aggro version of the deck, which has changed slightly, nothing really much, but might not cover the one new card. So honestly, for the aggro variant, not much to change. I'm still playing the 8 crit, Fragrances, all these are here. And then, but I'll go through the main deck itself. So the cards I've added also, of course, Painkiller Angel for the draw, Rough Look, and a Pistol of Grand Staples. I feel we don't play for Sard anymore, so yeah, of course we want to push games. Then of course we hit the Pentaglim. This thing we play Fashel, the 10k booster to form numbers to rush with, and this new card which is Gold Gown, which is something I'm really testing. When you place it, so +1 you can call a Great One from your hand and give 5k. So early game you put it as a rushing card, call out a 10, call out I don't know Painkiller 13k. You can start aggroing and this card can trade itself. Soul can be a bit tight, but this skill is not a must. It's not a must to activate, remember? More importantly, it's another grade 2 10k body which you can use to rush, which is really strong when you're going first. Otherwise, if you want magic numbers, turn 2, 25k column, pretty good. Then of course, yep, rushing things, you still play 6 cards to scry, because we don't get things. This card's a tech in if you do get the opportunity to make the play save the pistol and all that. So I hope you enjoyed the deck profiles I've done. So like for full Bastion, budget Bastion, aggro Hexa, combo Hexa, and of course many more to come. So if you're looking for Keter Sanctuary content especially, I'm playing this for a long time. And of course in June or so with DBD02, Phantom of the Dragon is being revived once again. So once more, they couldn't like stop digging the grave, so he's back. Buster Dog's back. So yeah, we really got to get used to this again. So soon, very soon you'll see PBD again, yeah. With that, yeah, let me know what's your favorite deck profile, maybe for the ironic budget deck purposes of this. The bling one I have here, or just the 2 flavors of Hexaorb. Overall, 1 month to the game, I feel Keter is really in a good position to grow as a clan. Combining the Scry mechanics, the Paladin mechanics really paid off in my opinion. As if for the end of Jira, I didn't think, apart from like maybe Gabriel and Genesis, not many clans in United were very strong. So I'm glad to see them crossing borders now. And as you can see, so many deck building options with just these 2 bosses cards. And hopefully more to come. With that, I'll just leave you with the hype BBD cam, and yeah, let's just go.